3 titles, 1 voice.
And the winner is...
It's Aruna, your Media Awards 2025 winner for Best Digital Personality, Best Talk Show, and Best Radio Personality.
Welcome, welcome to the ladies' room, where real men talk and truth go boom. Good morning, if your man acting up or your woman losing she mind. Right, we don't hide till we inside, 'cause the ladies' room go set it right. In the ladies' room we talk it straight, love, drama, heartbreak and fate. No pretense here, we tell it true,
'cause the ladies' room is made for you.
hosted by Aruna, sweet voice, and all the real talk you can have. Welcome, welcome to the ladies' room, where real men talk and truth go boom. Good morning, if your man acting up or your woman losing she mind. Right, we don't hide till we inside, 'cause the ladies' room go set it right. In the ladies' room we talk it straight, love, drama, heartbreak and fate. No pretense here, we tell it true,
'Cause the ladies' room is made for you.
hosted by Aruna, sweet voice, and all the real talk you can handle.
Ada.
And we are definitely back in the room. Final one for the week. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. And as always, a pleasure to have you here. And of course, want to take time out to say special good morning to all our listeners on radio 95.1, 95.3. Or if you are viewing the live stream on Facebook and YouTube. And of course, if you are listening via the Power app. And remember, you also have the option of viewing on the website. You no longer have to leave the page. We have a watch button that you can click, and you wouldn't have to leave if you don't want to. All right. Other than that, if you want to be part of the interactive audience on Facebook and YouTube, you can come over. We are back again for the final one. And like we said, we've got another awesome hour ahead of us. And my guest is already in studio, but before we get to him, just want to take time out to say thank you so much to Land Store, Western Union, and St. Augustine Medical Services for making the room possible. For those of you joining us for the first time, welcome. And for those of you who are here every single day, thank you so very much. Shante, I see you already here and in charge of the room. So for those of you just entering, do me a favor and hit the share button. And of course, the men who are usually here, I'd like if you can bring a couple more with you, because we want to center or tailor the conversation around you a bit this morning. Yeah? So welcome again, everyone. Welcome to the live stream. And of course, welcome via radio to the ladies' room. And this morning, like I said, we have a special guest, his second time in the room, and I'm sure it would not be his last. So, welcome everybody. Clarina, yeah, thank you so much for sharing. And again, just hit the share button at the bottom. And remember, I'm not sure why Meta does it, but sometimes you don't get the notification for the live. So what you have to do is to go on the page. So you need to go to Power 95 FM Facebook page and click on the live, and there's 3 or 4 dots to the right or the left side. I think it's the right side. Click on it and you have that option to turn on live notifications. And once you do that, you will get the notification as soon as we go live, because I'm seeing a couple of people complaining that we're well into the program, then they realize it's live because they're not getting the notification. So that's what happens. Your notification gets turned off sometimes, so you have to manually turn it on. So guys, do that, and you won't have that problem. So ever so often, just check, because we're live every day. Yeah, once we're here, we're live, and even when we're not, we're live. So good morning again, everybody. And today we're flipping the script. Yeah, we're flipping the script a little bit because if we're being honest, whenever we talk about health, especially in our society, of course, you know, the spotlight is usually on women. So what about the men? What about the fellas? The fathers, the brothers, you know, the partners, you know, the ones who were, you know, taught to man up, stay strong, you know, and keep everything bottled in. So the uncomfortable truth is, yes, we all die. We all do, but men are dying earlier. Men are avoiding the doctor. Men are suffering in silence. So the question is why? Is it pride? Is it fear? Is it culture? Or are we failing men in ways we don't even realize, you know, even as partners? So this morning we want to dive into men's health, you know, early detection, mental health, all of that, because staying silent is no longer an option. And to help us break this down, I'm joined by Dr. Amechi, and we're also going to be looking at the work being done by SAMS and the services available to support men right here in Grenada. All right? So that is how we want to start. For those, of course, who are just joining us, like I said, share the live as soon as you come on in. So on that note, we're going to jump right into it. Doc, good morning. Welcome back.
Hi, morning. Good to be back.
Just pull up. Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, much better. So welcome back. How are you today?
I'm doing good. I didn't get drowned coming in. It's a good thing.
Listen, I am so happy for this rain today, I swear.
Absolutely.
I absolutely love when it rains, and it's been so hot for the past couple of weeks, you know. The rain is definitely helping. I'm sure the farmers and Nawasa, etc., they're happy for every little drop that we get.
Nawasa? You mean no water?
Behave. But I know because I heard somebody called in this morning and said they haven't seen water in the taps for 9 days, and the tank is empty. So I don't know how they're doing coping, but hopefully we'll get that sorted soon. So yeah, so we're back on track again. And, you know, for those who may not be familiar, maybe we can start off with you telling us a little bit about what SAMS is and the role it plays in our healthcare.
Yeah, St. Augustine's Medical Services is essentially a hospital. We offer inpatient and outpatient services and the full gamut. We've got GPs, we've got specialists, and we basically attend to everything. The only difference between us and the public service is we are much smaller, but we can handle what we need to handle. And of course, we work hand in hand with our public service, who are doing great work despite all the disparaging remarks that are always made. And we all have the same thing in hand. We look after our patients. That's what we do. SAMS has been around for 27 years.
27?
27 years. It's going to be
It
the
feels
28th
like
year now.
Just the other day.
That's because we just started making more noise. We had to grow into our skin. And now that we're here, we're confident and we're doing good work.
Okay.
We're doing good work.
All right, so they're saying you are still a little bit low, so I need you to come closer.
All right. You want me to shout? I can raise my voice if you want me
Yeah,
to.
need you to project your voice.
All
That's
right.
it. Yeah. All right, is that better, guys?
Can you hear me?
So let me just give them a second to answer. Is that better? We're good now. Hello? Talk to me quick. All right, so we'll have to work. Yes, better. All right. Yeah, so what would you say are some of the key services SAMS currently offers to the public?
Yeah, we do, again, with the MRI that we brought on, we do CT scans, full suite of imaging. We also do the laboratory. But on top of that, we do handle minor emergencies. I mean, you know, if you've got a laceration or a broken bone, we handle all of that 24/7. If it's something really major that requires intensive care, we will put a Band-Aid on it, make sure that we do all the relevant first aid, and then transfer you into the public system. But other than that, we handle everything that needs handling.
Now, before we told you about being low, you were saying something about the new service of the MRI. Maybe you can delve a little more into that.
Yeah, MRI is an advanced imaging modality that uses magnets. It's very good for looking at soft tissue issues. So your CT scan is the first line for, brain injuries or anything major internal that you need a quick turnaround for. We use CT for that. MRI takes a little bit longer and is more in depth, but it gives you some really good imaging. For instance, let's say something minor. You've damaged your knee, but it's not a broken bone. CT is advanced X-ray, so it doesn't really show the soft tissues as much. If you've torn a ligament, you've torn cartilage, MRI is the modality for that. If you have some major stuff going on in your internal organs, MRI is also wonderful for that, as well as for your brain. It'll pick up brain tumors, it'll pick up little aneurysms a lot clearer and better than you will get from a CT scan. So CT is X-ray, CT, and then we upgrade to MRI if necessary.
Fantastic. All right, guys. So you have to be very nice to the good doctor because Sam's keeps our ladies' room going. All right. So when you hear me talking about Sam's, that's one off, Mr. Sam. So, do you find that men are actually accessing these services, or are they still staying away?
Men, yes. Actually, I had an interesting guy came in a couple of days ago, 50 years old, came in and he wanted to get checked out. Of course, usually when a man comes in, you think, wait, there's something on the line here. He's asking for a checkup, but he's got something else going on. But no, he was interested in making sure. He said, I've reached the age of 50, and I want to make sure that, I'm functioning well, everything is going well. He's clearly been listening because from the age of 45, 50, everybody, male or female, needs to start paying close attention to their health. You need to look at your family history as well. Hypertension, diabetes, heart disease, strokes, and you need to start checking because a stitch in time always saves 9. This is what we try to push. So, yes, we do have men coming in, thankfully a few more. However, majority of our patients are still female. We still have the issue where if a man is married, I always want the wife to come along. I've said this before because men come in there and just lie or just leave huge gaps. They won't tell you what's going on, but the wife is the one sitting there prodding, and the looks sometimes are priceless. But they tell the truth.
Look like, what is he? Why are you telling him that for?
Exactly, yeah. That's why we're here.
You could poke you like, you don't need to tell him all that. And it's funny that it's your body, but your wife will tell you exactly what he's going through, step by step.
In your intro, you said something. Is it cultural? Is it? What is it about men that we don't like to express ourselves? And that goes much deeper from the physical into the mental aspects of things as well. We've been taught as we've grown up with our family, come on, suck it up. You're a man. You're a big boy now. Stop. Boys don't cry. All these little things. And then from an evolutionary standpoint, we are the leaders of the household. So therefore, we don't want to show weakness to our partners or to our kids because we're supposed to be leading things. But just as we've evolved from standing upright, from crawling on all fours, to learning how to use fire, etc., we need to evolve in ourselves as well. And there are times when we have to, I hurt. Something is wrong. Let me go and check it out. You don't want to go check it out when it's too late.
That's the problem a lot of the times.
Exactly. Definitely.
Because for some reason, men and doctor visit don't always go hand in hand.
No, you've got a lot of guys that are, they're afraid of, they've got needle phobia. They're totally afraid that they're going to get stuck. Okay, but that's just a little thing. And a little bit of inconvenience to find out what's wrong with you goes a long way. You have people that come in there, okay, I just come to find out what's wrong with me. I want to check up, but don't tell me if anything is wrong. Okay, how's that work? How does that work? Again, you want to find out. As I've always said, every form of illness is curable if you catch it early. Okay? At least you can allay things. You can access more advanced health care. Once we catch things early, we can do something about it. There's no point coming to see me if you got prostate cancer that's spread into your bones, etc. It's gone. It's finished. It's too late. But if you check your prostate, and that's a big one, a lot of men think we're going to get the finger. We're moving away from that because we know that that's a major deterrent for a lot of men, that they're going to have to get the digital rectal. There's a series of questions we can ask which would tell us if your prostate is enlarged and or inflamed. So therefore, we don't need to examine you that way. There's also, there's the blood test, needle again. You do the PSA. If the PSA is up, there are things we can do to try and find out whether this is cancer or this is not cancer. But again, there's so many men that walk among us today who have been cured of prostate cancer because they caught it early.
They caught it
Yes,
early.
exactly.
And that's something we stress all the time. A stitch in time, save 9, and early
Yeah.
detection and all those things.
Yeah.
But we still somehow take it for granted that, hey, this is not going to happen to me. I'm not going to be sick. I'm not going to get this. But you just don't know.
Exactly.
Shante says, had a procedure done at Sam's in April. The staff was amazing. I was scared to be put to sleep, but nurse Shares stood by my side throughout the entire process.
Oh, wonderful. Yes, we do have some good people working with us. Definitely.
What would you say are some of the more common health issues you're seeing among men in Grenada right now?
Yeah. Hypertension, diabetes, obesity. And there's a fourth one, low testosterone. A lot of men live sedentary lifestyles. From the age of 35, men go through andropause. Women go through menopause. We go through andropause. Our testosterone levels start to decrease. When your testosterone levels decrease, a whole host of things start to happen. You start to put on weight, you start to feel slow and sluggish, you have brain fog, and you just, of course, the bedroom starts to suffer. Now, I'll put this out there, there's no man listening to this who has any issues in the bedroom. We all lie.
I like that. Put it out there. We laid it all on the table.
Why not?
So, what causes that?
It's just time. It is time. Over time, if you don't exercise, and most importantly is resistance exercising, you have to keep muscle growth and development for your testosterone levels to stay up. But even then, as we get older, these things drop. If you find that this is happening, there are the same way women get hormone replacement therapy, men can get hormone replacement therapy. It helps you. It keeps your bones strong, it keeps your tissues strong, it keeps your heart strong, it keeps everything ticking over and keeps you strong and healthy.
But what would you say are the age groups you're seeing, like the low testosterone levels from?
We're seeing this in all age groups. I'm seeing it in late 30s, 40s, definitely 50s and 60s, without a shadow of a doubt. But again, you look at the lifestyles that we live these days, we don't walk, we drive everywhere. All right? I mean, of course, it's hot, it's wet, it's whatever.
Right here to there.
Exactly. But we drive a lot. We don't do any exercise. We go to work, we work all kind of hours. We get home, we sit back, we stuff our face with a whole bunch of fatty foods, and we drink a significant amount of alcohol all the time.
And the smoke.
And the smoking, the smoking. And I'm not only talking about tobacco, I'm talking about marijuana as well. You are inhaling things, you're smoking. Again, we've seen patients that come in, you check their hemoglobin levels, they're high. You get red blood cell count is high. Why is that? You smoke a lot. You smoke, carbon monoxide occupies the hemoglobin sites on the red blood cells. So you need to make more red blood cells. Your blood gets thick, it gets slow, it gets sluggish. Pressure goes up, more likely to get strokes. All these things add up. So people, again, you need to look at yourself and what you're doing. Our environmental factors are a big deal in why a lot of things happen to us. What we eat, what we drink, our exercise or lack thereof, all adds up.
Someone says that's why doctors in the gym working hard every afternoon.
I tell you, that's also mental health as well as keeping me ticking. Hey, got to lead from the front. I can't preach and not do it.
Exactly, right? Now, in terms of, and I'm happy that you mentioned the marijuana, because there is this misconception that, hey, cigarettes are the only thing that's bad. Once you smoke weed, it's good. It's good for your health. It's good for everything and what have you. So I'm glad that you put that part in there, because I hear that all the time, that men think that it's okay once it's not cigarette.
Yeah. I mean, the operative word there is smoke. That's what it is. I mean, they're doing a lot more research on THC, and they're finding out that yes, there are some very beneficial effects of marijuana, without a doubt. However, it is a plant. It is plant material. You burn it, you smoke it. That the whole bunch of other things that you're inhaling and is getting into your body, other than the active ingredient. So, you know, you'd sit there and they roll this bush in a bit of white paper. How did the paper get white? It's been bleached. So you got chlorine in there. You're burning that, you're inhaling that. These are all toxins that you're taking into your body. So smoking anything is not good. Now, if you want to take the oil or whatever, I mean, it's all out there. There's a whole industry out there. And it does help for things, certain types of seizures it helps with, relaxation, all sorts of things. However, I would not be an advocate of smoking anything.
And then we love us a good barbecue at 3 and 4 a.m. in the morning.
Boy, ain't nobody supposed to be eating at those hours of the morning
But
anyway.
you see people eating barbecue
Oh yeah,
at 3,
the
4,
the
5,
barbecue,
6.
you know, the roadkill, the mystery meat, and it goes, you know, you've got all the carcinogens that come from the burnt barbecue sauce, the burnt skin. You put that into you, it's been proven that there's a higher chance and probability of getting colon cancer when you ingest these substances. You know, you've been out drinking all night, you stop at 3 o'clock in the morning and you have some barbecue. And you go home, you fall asleep, and all that happens is those fat cells just start to multiply. That visceral fat. See all these guys that have these big bellies, asking
Young
them,
guys.
young guys, and they say, what is it? You need to have belly to live in Grenada. Makes sense. High blood pressure, diabetes, all of these things are following close behind. And of course, I got to say it, problems in the bedroom.
And they don't want that, but they actually have it.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Then they come and say they need some help.
Or give it, Doc, you could give me that to
Yeah,
take.
give me the little blue pill. Yeah, we got money to make, you know, but still, come on now. There's no need for that.
Imagine in the 30s and looking for a blue pill.
You'd be surprised.
That is crazy. No, but it's just, I mean, I'm laughing, but it just goes to show that, you know, and sometimes I make the comparison, and I see men all the time on the love and care they put in their vehicles. They don't miss a service date.
Yeah.
If you get a chance, every morning they wash it down, they polish it, they shine in, they put in the latest gadgets in it, and it's looking good.
Yeah.
And I often say, how come you don't treat yourself the same way? How come you don't service, like, equate yourself to your vehicle that you must take for a service, otherwise it will not run properly? Why not see your body as your vehicle that you need to service?
That is a perfect analogy, and that might get through to some of these guys. That vehicle is of no use without you. Some of these guys do all of this. They put all of this into their vehicles, and they say that's because they can get girls. What's the point of getting a girl and you can't do nothing with the girl? Exactly. So look after number one first. This is you. Back to the comment about me being in the gym. If I don't look after myself, how am I going to be around to look after you as my clients and my patients? That's how it works. So number one is you. Number two is your family. Number three is everything else.
And what would you say at what age should men start taking routine checkups seriously?
Definitely from the age of 40. Unless you have a very strong family history of diabetes, high blood pressure, heart disease. And again, this is why you need to know your family history. Talk to mom, talk to dad, talk to your brothers and sisters. Find out what ails them. That takes us to this communication again. How we have to speak to each other. Because if you know that, you know, your mom developed diabetes in her early 30s, well, chances are at some point you're going to develop diabetes too, because
so that's why you guys always ask about your family history.
yeah, exactly, because there's a strong genetic link as well for a lot of these things. So we got to pay attention to that. And again, so from the age of 40, start paying attention. If your dad had prostate cancer at a very young age, we then start to do the PSA test, take that blood test to look at your prostate from the 40s and see where we are.
What would you say are some of the silent conditions that men should be screening for regularly as well?
Our bread and butter in this area is definitely diabetes and hypertension. These are the two things. Check that blood pressure, check that blood sugar on a regular basis, because these things are creeping up. And I believe it has a lot to do with our diet and our lack of exercise, but we are finding people are developing high blood pressure and diabetes much earlier. A lot of all these other illnesses stem from that. These are the two basic things, and then you got a whole bunch of other things that hive off of these two things.
Because we eat a lot of high carbohydrate.
Yes.
Our diets probably 90% carbohydrates, and then because sometimes I see people buying food and then it's rice, and then they have the macaroni pie, and then they still have like maybe piece of dasheen, piece of plantain. Then they have meat, and then they have a little of green salad or something. It's like tucked in the corner just to make up the plate.
Exactly. The misconception in Grenada, and I've heard it since I came here back in 1989, is that we have a healthy diet. We do not. Our diet in Grenada is not healthy. It's very starch and carbohydrate heavy, and that's not good. We need to go to more greens, nuts, vegetables. These are the sort of things that will keep you healthier. Yes, you need your protein, but you can get plant protein. You can get better meats. The meat you eat is the product of what that meat ate. So if you're getting a lot of these processed feeds that are given to the animals, that's the same thing you're getting into you. So you want to look for more free range, yard fowl they call it, out there picking and plucking and getting what it can get. The sheep, the goat that are out there that are exactly eating the grass, definitely. But when you have to go and get these processed feeds to feed the animals, and the steak that we get in the supermarket, full of antibiotics and other such things, meat is not high quality at all.
And the thing about it is, sometimes when I travel and I go to, the supermarkets, and then you see the different options, and they will
Yes.
tell you farm raised, this, that. But when you shop, you probably will just see meat and, not sure where it came from, who it came from. You'll see shrimp farm raised or from the ocean or whatever, fresh, whatever the case might be. They have all these labels, and one place that I find they're very strict on that, especially is in the UK.
Yes.
Don't sometimes, because sometimes you would see food labels, the expiry date would be weeks. Over there it's like within days.
There's a clear delineation between the processed foods. I won't even call it food. The processed foods that you get in the United States of America and what you get in Europe. There's a lot of foods that they eat in the US that are not allowed into Europe, into the UK, because it's garbage. I'm sorry,
I
it's
look
garbage.
for and I can't find it.
Yeah, we just have to look at just walk around on the road. Look at the size of the people in America compared to the size of the people in Europe. People are a lot healthier over there, simply because, as you said, you look at the options and the types of food that you get. Let's just take a simple thing. I was in the UK a couple of months ago, and in the area I live, they opened a Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A all over the U.S. I've eaten Chick-fil-A over there, and I ate the Chick-fil-A in the U.K. Night and day. It actually tasted like chicken, not mystery meat.
Like chicken.
Yeah, exactly. Big difference.
Now, what are some of the warning signs that you think men often ignore until it's too late?
One of the biggest things is that feeling of fatigue. You've gone to sleep at 8 o'clock at night. You wake up at 5 in the morning and you think, God, I'm still tired. And this keeps happening. You feel slow, sluggish, brain fog. Something's wrong. There's something going wrong. You shouldn't be feeling like this. Yes, on the odd day, okay, we can understand. But if it's a persistent and consistent thing, you get dizzy when you go from standing to sitting, lying to sitting, whatever, you get dizzy, something's wrong. Get it checked out. You're passing urine frequently. You're thirsty a lot. Something's wrong. You haven't done anything, but you're craving something to drink. And you're drinking gallons of water, and as fast as you drink it, you're passing urine, you're losing weight. I mean, we've seen all kinds of interesting. I had a guy that lost something like 40 pounds in a matter of 3 weeks.
What?
How did it take 3 weeks to get there? And you're spending all day long drinking and peeing. There's a problem. Why did it take 3 weeks? But at least he came and got sorted, got himself organized, which was a good thing. He had diabetes. You know, you sometimes it's odd. You find that you're hungry a lot, but you're also thirsty a lot. This is diabetes. High blood pressure is a lot more difficult because pressure tends to it happens slowly and gradually. Some people say, "Oh, my vision's getting blurry. My head hurts or my neck hurts." Well, if your pressure is causing that, that's way too late. You're on the verge of a stroke, which is again another thing you need to check. The same way, let's get back to the car analogy. Make sure those tires are good. Make sure the oil is good. Make sure the brake fluid's good. Check your blood pressure. One of the best investments you can make in life is a blood pressure monitor. First thing in the morning when you wake up, last thing at night, once, twice a week. Keep an eye on it, especially if you know you have a family history of high blood pressure.
Someone is asking in the comments, some health doctors are saying that the consumption of water at quantities 2 liters is excessive and suggest quantity below 800 ml. The reason is that our natural juices contains water. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, again, it's fluid that you're intaking. You want to make sure that when you land up in hospital and we put you on a drip, standard maintenance is 3 liters in 24 hours. Okay, so you're not awake for 24 hours in a day. If you can drink 1.5 liters to 2 liters of liquid every day, that could be tea, that could be the odd cup of coffee, that could be water, that could be natural fruit juices without sugar added. Yes, just make sure that you get that volume of liquid into you. And no, that's not rum either.
Oh, beers.
Yeah, beers. There's another good one.
It's just someone said I just had 2 beers.
Yeah, have 2 beers and then, have two bottles of water behind it, maybe.
I'll be good after. Now, what simple, well, I'm not sure if it's simple, but what tests or screenings should every man be doing annually?
Yeah, annually, you want to do your CBC, which is looking at red and white cells. You want to do your sugars. You can do the fasting blood sugar or the random blood sugar, but the better one to do is the HbA1c because it tells us what your blood sugars have been like over 3 months. So it gives you a better idea of the long term because diabetes is not going to kill you overnight. It kills you gradually and slowly. So you want to see what the long term is. So the A1C is good. You definitely want to check your kidney function. You want to check your cholesterols, not just total cholesterol, but the full lipid profile, because that shows us what all the various cholesterols are, because your triglycerides can
Somebody
cause
says
issues.
slow down, they're taking notes.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Yeah, so the total cholesterols you don't want to do. The other thing you want to look at is, especially if you drink, you want to take a look at your liver function, okay? If you're one of these people that tends to suck down Panadol, paracetamol, Tylenol on a regular basis, because, yeah, you get aches and pains, you get headaches, you get the odd sore throat. But if this is something you do on a lot of, you want to check your liver function, because the secret that nobody tells you is Panadol, paracetamol, Tylenol is a very vicious drug when it goes through your liver.
So what does it do to your liver?
Oh, it causes your liver enzymes to get very high. If anybody's ever taken the time to read the box, it says do not exceed 12 grams in 24 hours. Now we have this thing. I have a headache. I take 2 Panadol. 15, 20 minutes later, the headache is still there. Well, of course, because it takes 45 minutes to absorb the drug in your stomach. Take 2 more.
That's 4.
That's 4. After 45 minutes, the headache is still there because there's something else causing a headache. You know what? Let me take 4. So you're on 8 now. That's 8 grams. This is not good. This is not good. And if you check your liver function after that, you see the enzymes are all over the place. People tend to do this. So that's why we want to look at your liver function as well. Now, once a man is over 40, 45, we start to do the PSA, look at the prostate. Depending on the body habitus and some of the symptoms he gives when we question him, we want to look at your testosterone too. So this is a full thing. Thyroid function, the thyroid is another thing that's causing a lot of issues. We look at that a lot with women. Look at your TSH or look at the total thyroid function because that affects everything in your body as well. We see that a lot with men more and more these days. There's a famous one among us that also had a thyroid problem, and he was a fine specimen of humanity. Got himself
Fine
organized,
specimen.
and he's doing great. It happens to all of us, no matter how fit and healthy we are. So that's one more thing that needs checking.
Someone is asking, can they take blood work at SAMS and ship to the U.S.?
Yes, we can. Yes, we can. I mean, we do that for a lot of clients who are going off for stuff, and they, even if your doctor over there sends a full panel that you need doing, we'll do it for you, and we'll email all the results off. That's not a problem.
Okay, so Gabby, that's not a problem. Another person says, quick questions. Aruna, can you ask him what causes high monocytes, and also if intense exercise brings it up?
It can do. Monocytes that go up in your blood it's a non-specific indicator that there may be something wrong. Sometimes they raise after you've had an illness, because we'll be processing a virus in us, and you don't feel bad. You feel a little bit slow, sluggish, and you think, oh, I'm coming down with a cold, but you never actually come down with the cold. If you do a quick blood test, you might find the leukocytes are up. You might find that your monocytes are raised as well. So it really is a non-specific indicator. Your neutrophils and your lymphocytes and your eosinophils, those are 3 of the 5 lines of white blood cells you have. Those are more indicative of what's going on.
Another person is asking, is it only liver? I thought too much also caused heavy action on the kidneys.
Yeah, but we always check your kidney function too. Right? Kidneys, things like the NSAIDs, ibuprofen, Motrin, those sort of things will toast your cataflam and diclofenac as well. They will definitely toast your kidneys if you do it in excess.
Here the questions are coming in fast. This person is asking, when are you starting the business of collecting plasma?
Okay, now you've gone into you crossed the Rubicon here. Grenada is a very small place, and we tend to use a central blood bank. The collection of all blood products, which plasma is, we leave to the blood bank, and they handle it, because it's very important that proper protocols are followed and the proper screening is done, and you also have a central registrar so you know where everything is. If we have a population of a few million, then yes, it makes sense to branch out. But for the 100,000 odd people we have here, we tend to stick with that and use a central blood bank.
Okay. Another question. What if I have an overactive thyroid? Would you say are some of the symptoms? How do you detect
Well,
that?
if it's overactive, you tend to, basically your body's running a lot faster and hotter than it should. So you tend to get tremors, agitated, you don't sleep well, and you lose weight. You tend to lose weight rapidly. Sometimes you get the bulging eyes as well, that exophthalmos that you can get with Graves' disease or other forms of overactive thyroid. So it is, you will know, you'll definitely know something is going on. You just won't be feeling right.
All right, so I want to jump on that little mental for a while. With the little bit of time we have left, and we don't talk enough about men's mental health and how serious is the situation. So, what's the correlation between good health and mental health?
Good physical health does not mean good mental health. However, poor mental health will and can lead to poor physical health. Mental health is a major issue. I don't know if you recall when a person said, that's why I'm always in the gym, and I said that's for my mental as well as my physical health. It allows me exercise at the end of the day to cleanse my mind, because in doing, I have a little routine. I get on my motorcycle when it's not raining, and I ride to the gym. That time and focusing on trying to get there without falling off or getting killed on the motorcycle is cleansing for my mind. The exercise also helps that. And so it is offloading your mind at the end of the day, which helps some people. One of the therapies for depression is exercise. Some people find that exercising helps them significantly with their depressive issues. But so there is a correlation between physical and mental health. But mental health is a major issue, and too many of us do not talk about it. We've all heard about the guy who's the life of the party, cracking jokes, always smiling, but he's the loneliest person. He's the saddest person inside because he's hiding. And we as friends and family need to pay attention to those around us and try and pick up on these things.
Do you pick up on those things when people come in with other issues? Have you ever had that?
Yeah, what you'll find a lot of is somebody will come in and list a whole bunch of symptoms which make no sense. They cover a variety of different systems, and it's like, hold on, nothing's adding up here. So you let them talk. This is what I tend to do. I let them talk, and then afterwards you're like, okay, is there anything else going on? And a lot of times people wear this on their face. You can see that they either look very agitated, they look very sad. This is the depression angle. Psychosis is a whole different thing. You know, people start talking and saying all kind of nonsense. Well, that's a lot more obvious. But when you're looking at depression and people talk about, I'm not sleeping very well. Why? You know, I'll go to bed and I'll wake up very early and I can't go back to sleep. My thoughts are racing. All these little indicators mean that there's some mental issue going on.
Now, I'm seeing a lot of that, so true. Sorry, Glendon, didn't see your question. Is naproxen, that's how you pronounce it, better to
Yes.
use for headaches, period cramps, etc. if you're diabetic? Someone is asking.
Well, I mean, all of them are okay. You know, and especially when it comes to dysmenorrhea, period cramps. I don't have a uterus, so I don't know. But at the end of the day, whatever works better for you to help your pain is what you need to take. And everybody's different.
But it's just the concern of taking too much.
Too much, yeah. If you overdo it and you take more than the recommended dosage, then you're straying into the unknown, and that's when you can cause organ damage.
Now, what is one small step men can take this week to improve their health?
Movement. Get moving, portion control when you eat, get out and about and do something. Set aside 30 to 45 minutes 4 to 5 times a week when you exercise. You do something. And it's got to be more than just lifting weights. Okay, there's lifting weights.
I'm going to gym, I'm going to gym.
There's lifting weights and there's lifting weights, because all of those who've been in a gym can see this. You get somebody sit on a bench, they do 8 reps of a weight, they put it down, and they're on their phone for 20 minutes, and then they go back to it. No, that's wasting time. That's not exercising. That's wasting time. You want to make it so that there's an aerobic element to it. In other words, you want to do things fairly quickly, consistently. You want to get your heart rate up and maintain a high heart rate for about 20 to 25 minutes. That way you're burning calories as well as doing everything else with the resistance exercise, building muscle. So movement and get doing things.
You mentioned because you set up your phone, make sure you capture your videos to post, and you have to get the right angles. So you try it again, you do the reps again. You look at the phone, it's not looking how you want it to look, so you flex some more. It's hilarious looking at people's antics in the gym.
Honestly, it's like, what are you doing? I mean, you can stay home and do that.
It's so hilarious. Social media has created some, I'm not going to lie. I'll be looking at it and just, every day you have to post it. But anyway, how can partners, families and friends better support men, in their lives for better health?
Ask the questions. Talk. Communicate. If somebody is down, what's going on? You okay? And the first answer, yeah, everything's fine. But clearly it's not. Talk to them. But what is even more important, and I was thinking about this earlier on today, is that confidentiality. If somebody is going to open up to you, they need to know that what they say to you stays with you. Do not be talking people's business on the road. And this is a cultural thing that we need to get over. And that's why people don't trust it.
Normalized it. And you hear often time people here saying, well, that's how we date. That's how we are. People have normalized somebody coming to you in confidence and you going into little group chats and going to other people. and I always say that if I wanted the world to know, I have a Facebook page, I have a social media platform. I'll simply post it and tell everybody. If
Correct.
somebody's coming to you, that means, and the other thing that I absolutely hate having to do is to say to a person, I'm telling you this, don't tell anybody. The minute time I feel I need to tell you that, then you're not the person I should be talking to.
Correct, exactly. And I mean, the unfortunate things, and every now and then we have a spate of this. You people who have unfortunately taken their own lives can come back and tell us why. But think to yourself, if you knew this person, is there any point that this person may have told you something in confidence that you went and spread? Do you think that you may have had something to do with this? That's why taking things, and when people talk to you in confidence, that means keep it to yourself. You don't need to broadcast it, because you will be doing this person an amazing service in helping them by keeping your mouth shut. And a lot of times people want to talk to offload. They don't want to hear advice. Just be quiet and listen. That's all people need most of the time. It's just a listening ear. That don't mean open your mouth and talk about it.
Because as you, funny you said that, because I'm in conversation with a young man who said, the same thing. He doesn't feel like people want you to. They don't. People will tell you, after you've done something, why didn't you say something?
Yeah.
But when you're trying to say something, everybody shuts you out.
Yes,
Just,
exactly.
Go on, let me go and drink a beer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, forget about that. That's nothing. Get over that. You're like, hold on, listen to the man. Listen to him and listen to what he has to say, because it's important. I have clients that come to me that have mental health issues and tell me straight up, I need a psychiatrist, but nobody in Grenada. I don't trust anyone here.
That's what I get a lot of the
Yeah,
time.
and thank God they've come out with this thing, betterhelp.com. You can go online and you could talk to psychiatrists all over this world.
What's the name
on
of
this.
it?
It's called Better, BETTER, help.com. Yeah.
Okay.
And that is because again, it's very impersonal. You could go on your phone in a corner, you could talk to somebody that way, and it keeps the confidentiality is there.
Because that's a sad thing. You would think it's only amongst, friends or family, but when it's sad when you hear and it's coming from people who are supposed to be professionals.
Yes.
You're going to them in confidence, and then you're
Yes.
hearing stuff. Sometimes your partner might hear certain things really that you didn't want them to know, and it's a lot that I get on a daily basis.
Yeah,
when
it
comes
is.
to-
It's very it's sad, and I mean this is a big thing with doctors. Confidentiality. Patients come to you in confidence. What you say to me within the confines of the four walls of my office has to stay in there. There's a number of things I don't even tell my wife about people who've come to see me, and she doesn't ask because she knows. Person came to see me in confidence. It might be a friend of hers. She said, "Oh, I see X, Y, and Z came to see you." Yes, is what I'll say. That's it. It's not your business what she came to see me about. If she wanted you to know, she'll tell you.
Invited you into the room as well.
Correct, and that's it.
So, someone is saying they're recommending that you do some more follow-ups on the program and answer questions. So, yeah, I think that's a good idea as well. So we're gonna have a day when we're gonna open the lines, because I'm seeing a lot of questions, but we already had a sort of format for today's program. I just incorporated a few of your questions, but we can definitely do that. Have a day set aside when you can ask your questions, and I'm sure Doc will be more than happy to respond the best that he can. Think that's where we've come to the end of the program. Any final word, Dr. Amechi?
Look after yourselves. If you have a problem, find somebody you can talk to in confidence. It doesn't have to, listen, at the end of the day, it doesn't even have to be your partner. If you don't have the confidence in your partner, or you don't think your partner would take too well to what you're saying because she might lose confidence in you. And again, that's a big thing. You don't want to scare your partner. Find someone else. And sometimes it may even be a person of the opposite sex. That's okay. We're grown enough to have platonic relationships where we can tell people what we are feeling without them judging us. We're not judges.
Totally agree. Someone says that was a lovely program. Thanks, great program indeed. Yeah, so we definitely will have him back again. And like I said, next time around, yeah, we'll give you the flow so that you can ask your questions directly. All right. But thank you so much to everyone who joined us. Thank you so much for the sharing. Thank you so much for the questions and for the interaction as well. Again, someone is asking what's the number, Doc, for Sam's. They need to contact you about something.
440-6173.
Okay, and they're asking you opening hours if you open it every day or.
Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Saturday, 8 a.m. to 12 noon.
Okay.
And emergencies, 24/7.
All right, fantastic. Doc, it was a pleasure as always.
Thank you.
Definitely looking forward to having you back. I like how frank and how you are. It's just no sugarcoating, nothing. You just tell us how it is, as it is, and I think that's what people want in these times. Just lay it on the table. Thanks so much, everybody. Truly appreciate you. And of course, thank you so much, St. Augustine Medical Services, Land Store, and Western Union for powering up our ladies' room today. Final one for the week. And we'll most definitely be back next week, God's will, with more information. And we invite you to join us as always. Have a great Thursday, everybody. Thank you so much for joining today.
Ladies Room comes to you compliments of Renwick and Thompson Limited.